Hi everyone, Deborah Esther here. Welcome back to what seems to have been a tremendous hiatus. Not so much. I mean, we've got this effort Tomer Devorah going on, which, obviously I included it because it was a segula against cancer, which this is what this broadcast is about. So I didn't find it so out of the realm to include it. And additionally, we're all kosher Jews here, right? One can assume. And, so I just thought this would be a great addition to all of the information that we're getting. It's good to have a good balance, not just on, the physical side of things, but also the spiritual side of things, because, we're about learning how to make our whole selves complete. So I just want to thank everyone again for tuning in. And also I just obviously want to thank Hashem, just tremendous doors he's been opening, and some of these things that he's got going on, I hope to be able to share with them soon, share with all you guys soon. It's just, man, Hashem is amazing. Like I'm speechless and breathtaking away. I just can't get over like all the stuff that he's just been doing. Mamash, he's just amazing and wonderful. Can't sing your praises enough, Hashem. And I really, you never know what the day brings. So I'm just always so excited to wake up and just ready to be on an adventure with Hashem. So today we're going to talk very briefly about calcium again. We're going to bring it up, but I actually want to talk about some deficiencies that are related to calcium that you may not know about and really affect us more so than the more known ones like the bone density and, the brittleness of the bones, yada, yada. We hear a lot about that, but there's some other deficiencies that are more practical and really should give you an incentive to really want to make sure that you're taking in a good calcium supplement. Now, remember, we mentioned before that there's always an absorption difficulty with calcium, and I personally like to take a liquid calcium, or even if it's a powder to liquid. There is one, it's almost like a candy. And it's from Adora. And they have these milk chocolate calcium discs. Now, they also have them in dark chocolate. I am not a dark chocolate fan. I know it's really good for you. I'm just not a real dark chocolate fan. But they do have these discs in milk chocolate. And they're actually quite tasty. I mean, to the point where you'll probably forget that they are calcium. So you shouldn't have more than like 3 in a day. And they're really good. I think they're about like 500 milligrams per disc, and they are kosher. So they're really good. I think they're about $10. They range about $10 a bag. But I want to talk about some of the deficiencies that you may be suffering with, and and you may not know it could be related to a calcium deficiency. And one of them happens to be, you hear the term medically is called Restless Leg Syndrome. Now, I actually had that because I suffered from a calcium deficiency really bad. So let me explain to you what it feels like, because you may have it and you may not even know that you have it. So when you're going to sleep, and it's usually, I always recognized it whenever I was laying down, actually. But usually towards the end of the day, if you're going to sleep, you feel like this little ruffling from the inside of your legs. And it almost feels like something is crawling. It's not quite an itchy, but you can just tell, like, it's a very weird sensation, and you kind of feel it. And I always felt it very strongly at night when I was going to sleep. And believe it or not, that is related to a calcium deficiency. It's more likely than not, it's a calcium deficiency. So a lot of people actually suffer with this, and, they end up taking all these medications and yada, yada. And if that's the route you want to go, of course, you're free to do it. But you may want to look into upping your calcium. Now, remember, magnesium is good to take with that. Vitamin D is good to take with that. You want to make sure that you're maximizing the absorption rate. And again, I personally just like liquid because for a lot of reasons, if you're dealing with digestional tract issues, and so you may already have a disrupted absorption rate as it is. So it's very good to make sure that you're helping your body, get all the nutrients it can as fast as it can with minimal disruption. So I like to use it for that. Another calcium deficiency related symptom is if you're in your time of NIDA and you're having a lot of pain, if you're having a lot of pain in that time, believe it or not, this has also been linked to calcium deficiency. And so women, of course, for many reasons, there's a very big push on women to make sure that they're using calcium, but generally that recommendation starts really getting hammered to us once we're much further along in the road of life. And really, it's very important much earlier on, and it kind of does help alleviate a lot of the pain. It's not as severe as when you're calcium deficient. And when you are in the throes, you should be taking it all month long. But when you are in that exact time, you really should up the calcium to kind of minimize the pain. Now let's put that in perspective. It's not Advil. It doesn't take the pain away, but the severity of it is not as great as when you're calcium deficient. And believe it or not, calcium, I believe, makes up a very good portion of what's inside your body, aside from water. And when not that anyone should ever be cremated, but people have been cremated. The majority of that ash, I believe, is 80% calcium. So that really goes to show you calcium is very important. In addition to those two things, it helps to alkalize the body. So if you're dealing with things like, gout or something like that, where you have a high uric acid, calcium naturally alkalizes the body. And I'll do another voice note about pH balances and things like that, because it's a very hot topic issue. And too much of a pH deficiency is not good, and too much of if you have a high pH in your body, that's also not good. Again, everything is in harmony with the body, so you want to make sure that you're getting a good harmony. But if you have a good amount of calcium in your body available at all times, it naturally alkalizes the state of your body. Additionally, if you are going for a workout and you have excessive pain, that's uric acid. So that's the same thing. When you have a lot of, good calcium in your body, that also alleviates, and it's much easier for you to recover after a workout. You don't really have that intense cramping. And this is the same concept when you're in your time of NIDA. It's the same concept here. It kind of helps to relax the muscles from that intense pain. So calcium deficiencies, are much more rampant than people realize. And again, just to tie it in with those, with just the way our soil is, if your cow, let's say, is on a preserve where, the soil is depleted of calcium, okay, or who knows what's in the feed, okay, if it's coming from a modified feed, you have questions there about, are you really getting your 10% daily value of calcium, which most people aren't even drinking that much milk to get even that. So you want to really just pay attention. You can't really just rely on the fact that I eat a lot of dairy to kind of hold you over. There's better ways to monitor your intake of calcium, and you really want to be mindful of that. And it really, it should make a very big difference if you're suffering from those kind of ailments. So I just want to, remind everybody again, when you're going out for your supplements, make sure that you could try to get liquid calcium. I like liquid calcium as well because of the fact of what makes a tablet or that little gel capsule generally starts to kick up some kosher issues because the source of those gelatins are not always from a kosher source. So that's usually, there's a very big concern there. So I personally like to see a liquid calcium, but I just wanted to give you a few tidbits about calcium. And I hope to be doing things, especially for like cholesterol, just little tidbits about the cholesterol and little tidbits about things like salt and debunk some of these myths that are really just that they're myths. But I hope that you enjoyed this little edition of calcium deficiencies. And I really hope to be together with you all soon. So thanks again for tuning in to Kosher 2.0. Thanks.